to tonight's
hello.
episode of Writers React. Thank you guys for coming to hang out with us. I've got some fabulous friends and co hosts here to hang out with us tonight, and we've got some cool topics for you guys. So I'm going to let my friends introduce themselves, and then we will get started. Take it away, Des.
Hello, friends. I am Desiree M. Ortega. I am also one half of Desiree, the short romance pen name that I co-write with Tiffany L. Russ. And yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on right now. So, D.
Hello, friends. I am the Sky Lily. I publish under Sky Winter Books, Sky Winter for steamy, fun shorts, and Lily Love for clean, sweet romances. Also short right now. And I have a YouTube channel. Follow me there. I have videos sometimes. And a Patreon. Follow me there as well. Esther.
Hi, I am Esther Maria Andujar. I'm a Puerto Rican writer aspiring to be a hybrid author. I also write paranormal romance under Mireya Navar. So if you're looking for a little bit of spice and a lot of blood, that's where you're gonna get it. I do write contemporary romance, mostly short. You will hear about that when we talk about Sally. Good old Sally, sweet old Sally. So that is a pending that I don't share unless if you go to my membership there is a very high tier that will allow you to read Sally's books, hence know the name behind Sally. So yeah, that's I'm here. I scrambled to be here, but I'm here.
And I'm Nia, the Vixen of Fiction, all over the internet. You are here on my channel. I I stream on Tuesday nights here on YouTube. So if you want to come hang out and get some things done, we do some productivity streams. I'm also over on Twitch, so you can follow me there. I write historical fiction, sci-fi, fantasy, and romance. I do write under a pen name, but you can find some things that are coming out under NV James and Vixen of Fiction. So you can look forward to those. Um, I'm a little bit getting well, so I'm mildly medicated just so that I can breathe and speak. But my voice is still a little scratchy, so do forgive me if it frogs out a few times. Hopefully it'll hold out. It's been doing pretty good today, but this is also the most talking that I've done today, so we'll see how long it lasts. But we do have some friends that have come to hang out. Hello, Stephen. How are you? Alicia, hi. Regina, Victoria, hello, hello. Tiffany and Richard. Yes, the spice must flow. Little dude reference and also the spicy reference. I like what you did there, Richard. I like it. She said a little bit getting well. Oh yes, I am actually feeling a little bit better. So I've been up and about today. I actually stayed up kind of late last night, which is kind of wild. I went to bed and then I woke up at 2 and I was like, oh, I just wanted to write something. So I wrote from 2 a.m. to like 4:30. Don't ask me what I was thinking. I haven't written because before I got sick, I hurt my stinking wrist. And so I've been just kind of in this like funk where I'm like, what am I even doing? And my husband's like, you hurt yourself and then you got sick. Calm down. I'm
Right?
like,
Give me
because
some
I'm
grace.
like, why do I feel like I'm not doing anything? He goes, ma'am, you've not been well. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hello, Jessica. Um, so anybody else want to give any updates? Are we good? I know Esther's got some things going on. So check out Esther's channel. She did make a video explaining some of the changes that are coming up. Some things that are on hiatus and whatnot. So if you want to know what's going on, she does have a video posted. Was it this past week?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So you
It's a
can find out.
10-minute video. It's very quick. I go like straightforward. No sugar coating of anything.
We love
So
it.
yeah.
We love it.
I think
All
Des got a
right.
video too, right? I haven't watched it yet, but I saw it pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Des does have an update
Testy
video.
has a video, so y'all
So
can
go,
go get more Desi time over on
yes.
our
Yeah.
channel and subscribe while you're there. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you miss Des, she has a really long catalog of videos that
She
you
does.
can go and watch. Like you can
Mhm.
see her hair transformation through the years.
And you can hear all
I
the
love
songs, like
it.
the brilliant
Go
notion,
through a
notion,
lot.
Love
notion that's
it.
still stuck in my brain. Those lines
So
give you a lot of gems.
So every
Okay.
time you feel like, oh, I haven't seen this in a while, just go to her YouTube channel, scroll a couple of times, stop and watch the first video that caught your eye.
Yes.
Uh,
Oh,
thanks, guys.
this is awesome. I hope that
Also,
that it goes well. I
also,
love that.
also, it helped with watch time, so
I mean, I'll
Mhm.
take
That part.
her. Yeah.
Dedicated British accent. Well, today the video is playing, and Australian speaker Siri woke up and wanted to know what movie she was requesting. I love that. And yes, totally agree. Des has
Mhm.
some amazing videos. And it's either man.
Also, amazing books. So if y'all are craving some short romances, Desiree has a lot of books. I think like 17, 16, 17. There's a lot of them. Y'all
Yeah.
start at the beginning, go all the way to the end. And when you get to the end, start over. They're really good.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. All
Also,
right.
a lot of sport romances are kind of like popping up again because
Mhm.
people are still riding that wave of the Olympics. They have
Yeah.
an
Sports
entire
romances.
series
Yeah.
of
Yep. Of
women
course.
in the
Women
And
all
like
Christmas is coming up.
Olympians.
There are
So
Christmas romances and Thanksgiving romances, and that Christmas one is really,
yes,
really, y'all need to read it. There is a bridezilla in there and a grandma that I love. Y'all need to check it out.
yeah.
Yeah, I love you.
And if
Okay.
you're interested in learning
Very
about the
good.
writing journey, check out our good friend Dee writes under Lily, and she's got a dedicated
Don't do
Patreon
that.
to help you follow her process to see how it's done. And she's still having some success early on. So if you want to know how it's
Lily's kicking butt. Look
Lily
at
is
Lily.
kicking
Yeah.
butt. Lily is an
Lily is.
inspiration to me. So, if you want to learn how it's done, our good friend Lily can help you out. So check check these channel out. Her Patreon, it's awesome. All right, now that we have humped each other up a little bit, which is always nice to do, I would also like to say we have some fabulous authors in the chat.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
if you're not following each other or haven't checked out each other's work, please do. From Richard to Regina to Tiffany. I mean, there's a lot of writers, and Rachel's in here. Jessica,
Mhm.
yeah, check everybody out, you guys. Alicia as well.
Mhm.
So
Regina.
yeah,
If
so much talent.
like ex-military, very protective because they were ex-military kind of guy is your thing, Alicia is your author.
Mhm.
Like
Yes.
Mhm.
100%.
Mhm.
Also, she recently released a white shoe, so
Mhm. Say what you
Mhm.
will,
I
part of
love
an
a white
anthology. Yes.
Yes, and
Beyond
Regina
Courage anthology.
Regina knows, I'm a huge fangirl of Regina. She is our author
I think there's a
extraordinaire.
new release too. So
yeah,
Yes,
check
a
everybody out,
historical.
guys.
yes.
Mhm.
All right, guys. Are y'all ready to jump into these topics?
Are we? Are we?
Mm.
What do we wanna tackle? Get the words out.
You know,
What do we wanna tackle first?
we've been talking about community. Why not talk about the biggest letdown in the community?
Oh, here we
Take it
go.
out of the
Yeah.
way,
Let's
you
do
know?
it.
All right.
NaNoWriMo, our old friend, why have you done this to us
We need,
again?
we need like animated flames.
Yes, the hot animated
For
flame.
fire.
It's the dumpster fire. Everything is fine.
Everything's
According to
fine.
NaNo, well, everything around them literally burns down. Okay,
Mm.
So after the struggle, like so many people couldn't hang on after the first incident a year or so ago. A lot of us were like, we're gonna give you guys a chance. We're gonna see what you guys are gonna do. We kept trying to give them a chance, trying to give them a chance, but instead of continuing to fix things, they decided that we're gonna start a whole new problem.
Mm.
All right, who wants to take this one to give my poor little voice a little rest?
Okay. I mean, I only because thanks to Savvy Writes Books, who put out a very extensive video with a lot of information, interviews, etc. So that's something you guys can go and check out on your own time. But so I feel like it's fresh in my mind. But for those, again, everything we claim is allegedly. So at this point, most of you know, last year, unfortunately, there was misconduct harming the youth involved with the NaNoWriMo youth programs, and it was not a safe environment anymore for young people. And so it's interesting because there was someone who asked, why is it that this AI statement feels like it's the thing
Yeah.
that is officially, like, why wasn't what happened last year
Mhm.
enough up an uproar, but this is what got us mad, the AI. And here, my 2 cents quickly is that I feel like many people, because of how NaNoWriMo handled the misconduct with the youth and how they really tried to push it under the rug, many people, I feel, probably didn't feel like there was any official statement that
Right.
came from the NaNoWriMo organization, admitting to anything. This, I think, officially twisted arms because this is an official statement
Yeah.
from the NaNoWriMo organization. And
Yep.
so finally people were like, ooh, okay. Like there's no if, ands, or confusion about it. Like this is what you said. This is how you feel. And so it's a long statement. I don't know if we want to address it, but the gist of the statement, the main
They
quote.
edited out,
It's
so
changed. It's been
like
changed.
we're
But
we're
yeah,
not gonna have
I
it
have.
on
Yeah,
original.
Thankfully, screenshots, the
yeah.
internet
I have a bunch
provides.
of videos. I have a bunch of screenshots in my video because I ranted about it because I was so offended. I'm still offended,
Here,
but I'm staying quiet.
yeah, the final statement that I think is where people officially, which is their claim to AI, is we also want to be clear in our belief that the categorical condemnation of artificial intelligence has classist and ableist undertones, and that questions around the use of AI tied to questions around privilege. So that's something we
It
can
doesn't stop
unpack.
there, but go.
It doesn't, but that was like the official, like after the everything else, they said that's the part that for the most part like said a lot. In addition to other things. So I don't know if anybody else wants to add on to that.
So I personally was very offended by their statement because I fall in all three categories of people that they were talking about. I am disabled. I am not financially well off, and I am a minority. So all three of those categories I could fall under. And I found it very offensive. I found that they were saying that people who are against using AI for NaNoWriMo are classist and ableist. And they didn't say racist, but when you really read about the minorities, like, or discriminatory,
Yeah.
is that word, I cannot say that word for the life of me, but I found it very offensive because essentially their statement told me that, oh, because I'm disabled, my mind does not have the capability to come up with anything without AI. A, or B, because I am a minority, I couldn't actually be able to create anything of use without, and I don't care if people use AI. Honestly, their statement,
Right.
if they had stopped right before that, where they have it now, I would have been fine with their statement. I'm like, it's your company, do what you want. I don't care how you run your business. But for you to go and double down, and they said it once, they got backlash, and then they corrected the top of their statement and then left that in. when they realized that the writers started backing out, the same sponsors that they were defending, because I firmly believe that AI statement was because Pro Writing 8 now does generative AI, and that's a big major sponsor.
Yes.
But the same sponsors they were defending and everything started pulling out, then all of a sudden they saw their ways. Or the PR team said, "Oh, let's correct this. It's a little too late for me. There's certain things you can't come back from, and that's one of them." It's just the way you present your business to me is very important. I don't care what your statement is. Just do not go out calling people racist while being racist, or ableist while being ableist, and classist while being classist. That was just bad business.
It
Yeah.
was, yeah, it was very, very sloppy, insensitive, just definitely. It was like you said, if you want, like, whatever. And then again, there is the argument of like, what classifies the use of AI, because I think a lot of us forget that AI is the simple things we use as
Mm-hmm.
spell check
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
and our phones and things that, so I it's a matter of like people needing to also like define that for themselves. I think the community is mostly in an uproar about the use of AI as plagiarism and
Mm-hmm.
using it
Yeah.
to do the work, the creative work for you, to write the books for you. And you have, and so because there's no argument that, yeah, there are aspects of AI that people who have disabilities need.
Mm-hmm.
There's people who need like the text to read on the
Yep.
Yeah. The
screen.
text to read,
Yep.
There's
Yep.
people who are
text.
visually impaired. There's people who are maybe the deaf community and they use
Mm-hmm.
other visual AI. Those things are not what are in question here.
Right.
No.
And I think they tried to backtrack and kind of say like that's what they were referring to. But again, I think the terms were very insensitive,
Yeah.
ignorant, and totally off base for them to have used it as their defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm with what Victoria said in the chat too. Because I mean, disabled people have been doing NaNoWriMo for years. Sure, there may be months there are Novembers that I can't write even 10,000 words, but that's not the point. The point is maybe my hands have tied. I try to dictate, or I try just to be along with people and support everyone else. The point that we most writers are in NaNoWriMo for the community. It was never about actually getting 50,000 words. If you get it, great. But you try for it. If you get 10,000 words, we celebrate you. You get 5,000 words, we celebrate you. That wasn't the point. So I
Mm-hmm.
think they just missed the mark on what their community was built on, essentially. And I think they got lost somewhere
Yeah.
along there.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
totally.
I would agree. Like I'm like if people want to use AI, they can use it all they want. But I think like Des was saying, to some degree, we all do use it. We use it for our spell checks.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us will use it to do our speak to text when we're trying to do dictation and things
Yeah.
like that. So there are aspects of it. For me, it's as long for me as long as I'm the one creating the thing, I'm okay with it. I don't mind if there's an AI help editing along the way in to some degree. I know some people
Yeah.
feel differently. Some people actually like to use the AI for writing. That's not my jam. And I'd rather not read strictly AI written things. I don't care if it's AI edited or AI assisted in editing or AI assisted with speak to text or anything that I don't care about. It's the actual creation of the art, whether it's writing, art, actual
Visual
drawings,
art,
art,
yeah.
visual art. I would just prefer for a human being to actually do it. And that's into whatever capacity you're able to create that
Yeah.
in. I think that disabled people have been creating art for a long time without have to use AI. I think that just the whole thing about I didn't
Yeah.
like
It's
their
just the
wording.
way it was phrased.
Using
Yeah,
it
I
as an
agree.
excuse.
Yeah,
It seemed like that they were using the disabled community
As a
and
crutch.
minorities as a
I
Mm-hmm.
exactly. they're
Yeah.
being used as an excuse for
I
what
will
they want to
have
do instead of saying we just want to embrace AI. Say it with your say it
Exactly. With your full chest.
and let that
I would have appreciated, as someone who owns a lifetime membership with Pro Writing Aid, like, and I use Pro Writing Aid, and the extent of the, I know it does a bunch of, because it has been updated over and over and over again, and I know their generative AI offers a lot of things. The only time that I have used it is, and I just cackle at it because it wants to recommend rephrasing passive voice, and because when it does the recommendation, it just shuffles the words and maybe substitute one or two. It still ends up passive voice because it's just reshuffling the words, and I'm
yeah.
like, per rating A, English is my second language, and I can see that's still passive voice. No. I'll no, I'll figure it out by myself. That's the extent of what I've used, and because it keeps doing that, I'm just like, I'm just not gonna even keep
See,
trying because it's not working.
I think what a lot of no,
I
finish this.
would have loved for them to be like, because Pro Writing A is one of their biggest sponsors, instead of coming down pointing fingers at the community, they'll be like, hey, our organization is a place for you to like set a specific time to work on your creative endeavors however you see them fit
That part.
and however you want to work them. It's not our job to police how you do it, um, and to like not to like out anyone. We're not gonna ask you like a lot of different websites that are asking you to click on if what you're putting up is created by AI or not, and be like, we're just gonna concentrate to keep creating a community where writers can have a month dedicated to write.
Yeah.
And however you decide to do that, it's not our problem. And however you, and the thing is like, Pro Writing Aid is not there to write your book, it's there to edit your book, and NaNoWriMo is not about
Not the editing
editing.
software. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
I
Mm,
it,
mm,
it,
mm.
it came like so out of left field that they left the
Yeah.
Yeah.
field with the
Right. And
statement.
what
And
really ups
if people were asking about like, hey, your biggest sponsor is now doing generative AI, blah blah blah, you can be like, our statement is to, this is what we're for. You as an individual, if that is not the community that you want to be in, that's your decision.
your prerogative.
But pushing people to be like, oh, if you complain about AI, you're this. It's just like you're literally opening all the doors, all the windows for people to
Mm-hmm.
leave and leave angry at you.
Yep.
Yeah.
There
Or
was there was a superiority in how they like
Yeah.
put
yep.
it out there and
Also,
claimed the disability community as if it was their right to be their
yeah.
voice. And it was like,
Mm-hmm.
whoa, who are
Also,
you?
a
And I
lot of AI requires you to either give your data. If it's free, you have to give your email, your name, your age, all this information that you do with almost every account that you open. And a lot of the times, most of the features that you might be interested,
They're
you
not free.
have to pay for them.
Mm-hmm.
So how
Yeah.
we
Their
who don't
statement
want to
didn't make
use
sense.
AIs, our classes, when the actual product creates a physical monetary barrier.
Mm-hmm.
after
Like,
taking
And
the
there
information and using it for free
yeah,
without asking people
like,
permission.
And so
Saying,
to be fair, a lot of people don't realize AI has been around for years. This is AI isn't new. The AI software and the creation of AI writing things, it isn't new. It's been around for years. There's been Jasper, I think that was around from 2015, 2016. There are people on YouTube that are saying they've been using AI from COVID started. and they published a bunch of books no one knew. It's just that it just because GPT created an open source, so it became more accessible. It was more free.
Right.
That one and the free version, like they use Chat GPT in school and resort and use it as references. It annoys the hell out of me. But the free version of none of these free versions give you quality content.
Yeah,
They're
no.
very expensive.
Whenever Whenever I want to have a really good laugh, you know what I do? I ask ChatGPT to give me titles for my upcoming
oh dear.
romance novels. That gives me so much laughter. It's just like I'm like, oh God, ChatGPT, what would I have done
And
without you?
it has its place because chat, like in my marketing course that I was doing, they used AI to get like marketing copy, even captions. It has its place, but it has a very far way. The free versions have a very far way to go to write like cohesive content. And again, I didn't care if I was with Esther, if they had came out and just said their message and not gone left, then I wouldn't. And then in their apology, they went left again because they were blaming the community that they said their statement because of bullying and this and that. But I'm sorry, no one bullying anyone could
Yeah.
lead you to call people to be classist, ableist, and discriminate against a set of your community and do whatever you're doing. So even in their apology, they failed. So I'm like, hmm, mm-mm.
Exactly. And absolutely, Dolores. I mean, it can be absolutely helpful. Like
Yeah.
it's just when they did that, what it did was I felt like they knew that there was going to be some AI backlash, whether people liked it, didn't like it, or just didn't care. Most of us would have been indifferent. We're dealing with it anyway. Half the writers out there now are just writing AI books. We've seen them. We've heard the AI audio generated books. You know, so we're already dealing with it. So it would have been for many of us. It's another thing to deal with on top, and so we would have already been deciding, do we want to keep going with Nano or not? But then
Mhm.
using that, it's like saying something racist and then saying, but I
Mhm.
have a black
Yep,
or a
yep.
Latino friend.
Mhm.
And it's
Yep,
like,
yep. I can't be racist.
no,
I have a minority
just
friend. I can't
just
be
say what you
racist.
wanna do and stand by it, and then people will
Mm-mm.
decide like we already are.
Mm-mm.
We haven't stopped
Right?
using other things that we're using because these people are using AI or this is using AI art or whatever. We're still navigating and we're still writing our own work and doing our own
Mhm.
thing. So, we would have just made that decision, but by
Yep,
doing
but you
that, it's
made it
like
for us.
it's offensive that you're using disabled and minority groups to defend yourself.
Louise, I'm
Wait,
sorry.
I can say stuff. I have a black disabled friend.
You
How
you can say you can have as
gay!
many black and disabled friends as you want, and you can brag about them and amp them up. Just don't do it after saying something that may be perceived as racist. That's when
Right,
it
right.
becomes problematic
Yeah. I
And then
tell
or
my
saying
friends,
you
ableist.
I'm
can't
like,
possibly have been.
Right.
It's impossible that I was racist. I
Right.
have a
Yeah.
black friend.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
when it becomes a little
that's
bit
when it's
icky.
a problem.
But
I love that. Why else would I have a token friend?
We're not here for.
you brag about your token friend.
Whatever
Go
you
ahead,
want.
friend.
Ah, you remind that friend that they are a token friend.
Right.
You have a purpose in my life. Don't steer away from it.
There's a reason why you're unique.
Oh man.
Special.
And
You're totally
Eloise
one of
is
one.
just kidding. Eloise
Yes,
is just
Yeah,
yes.
kidding, just kidding,
Please,
just kidding. We
please,
can have a
please.
Just in
laugh.
case
I
y'all
love
didn't.
it.
Oh man.
Before we go to the next topic, and if we go through the comments, I let me share because you guys know we do have a Discord.
Yes.
It's called Creators of
Nice
Maine. We
segue.
have the community, like Dessa's community is there, Nia's community is there, my community, Tiffany's, Morgan, and we have
Laura.
Laura's, and we
Mhm.
have space for all of you to to share and have yourself. because we saw that most people were just like mourning the community aspect of NaNoWriMo, and what we try to on Creators of Maine is create those communities. We thought about doing something fun, more flexible, something that you can add to any challenges that you're already doing, or you can blend with other challenges. So we have for the fall season, which is October and November, the fall into your creativity. So during those 60 days, you can maximize that autumn vibe and dive into your writing project. You pick your goal, you pick however you want to track it, and you just let us know how we can support you through those 60 days. Same with spring and summer. So March and April are the bloom your creativity, and June and July will be shine on your creativity. So I will drop the link to the Discord if you're not already there, so you can enjoy the community aspect of what Nano failed to, to take care of and protect. And you work on whatever you want to do. Do you want to do two? Do you want to do Sarah's heart breathing challenge? You can do that too. You want to do Kate Kavanaugh's challenge? You can do that too with this. Like, sky is the limit, friends.
You don't have to pick one or the other. Again,
Yes.
the beauty of it is bringing the writing community together. And what better way than having multiple challenges available for all of us to bounce around and meet even more of the writing community. So
Without the pressure.
No pressure.
Exactly.
You do
Yeah.
you do you. And
Yes,
we'll do
yeah.
it together.
and
You do
and thank
you.
you,
We
Dee.
will support you.
Yeah, D Skywinter on in chat posted the link, guys. The link
Yeah.
is there as well as
It's needed
TLS.
too,
You
They were
beat me
on
to
it.
it. I was trying to be fast. I couldn't be. I wasn't fast enough. I had to reopen it. I haven't opened it in forever.
I have
on my
this
on my
open
on my
because I use
computer.
it for school. So I'm like, I just skipped over invite. Oh, here's a link.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, guys, if you choose to stay and do NaNoWriMo, that is your choice, and that is okay. This is but for those of us who feel like it's time to say goodbye and we have no desire to be a part of the organization anymore, I'm grateful to see that communities have stepped up immediately to provide a place for all of us to kind of fall back on. For example, the Creators on Main community, Sarah Cannon's community, Kate Kavanaugh's, just in time for November. So that is really awesome to see that the community stepped up and was like, we're gonna come together and still find a place, a safe space for us to continue to create, which is the whole point, which is what we want to do.
Amazing. And guys, support the smaller communities like Creators and Main.
Yeah.
If you have like an organization, well, a company, or you have stuff just like NaNoWriMo used to give gifts to people that win, if you can do something and you want to support the small community, you can reach out to, hey, Esther or Nia or Des. Well, Des needs some space, mental space. But any of the community people that you reach out to them. Say, hey, I have say for example, I don't have the time, but I have a cover business. Maybe I wanted to give anyone that won the challenges can get a cover. Support the small community, make it fun, dedicate, and the more you pour into it, is the more you get out of it, and just that's what community is. So, just a thought.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So I'm definitely looking forward to the upcoming challenge. I'm making spreads. I've got a board right over here that I'm just super excited about. I'm all in. Fall is my time. Ignore the hurt arm and the scratchy voice.
Dictate, friend.
Fall is my time. I'm claiming it. It's not claiming me, but I'm claiming it.
Feel that.
All right, let's get to our next topic. Who wants to take the bans pressuring authors and the Rebecca Yarros situation?
Okay, just a TLDR version.
Okay.
because we spent so long
You
in
wanted to read
NaNoWriMo.
it. Yeah.
So Rebecca Yarros, if you guys don't know, she is the author behind the Iron Flame and the
Fourth
fancy
Wing.
books that people are crazying over, getting crazy over, and going crazy over. Now, Rebecca was publishing before she went ahead and published this amazing series that everyone wants. However, because it can be very daunting as a writer when you are forced to write certain things, and because of the success of this series, the fans wanted book 3 desperately. So Rebecca chose to put out a statement saying she was going to take a break and return to her contemporary romances and put the next book out in that, and the fandom went wild. As a result, Rebecca was forced to go ahead and put up book 3, which she recently posted that she finished it. So yay, she did it, but she wanted to take a break from the series. She was not able to because of fandom pressure, and of course the publisher is going to lean to what the fans want, because if the fans want it, that's more money for them. So she
Mhm.
was forced to write the book before her timeline, and I don't think that's cool. But just my 2 cents in, I'm already talking. It can be real hard. I know as readers, we love to get the books we want when we want them, but writers are people too. And sometimes it's hard to get in the headspace, especially we don't know what's going on in her personal life. I know a lot of people don't care as long as they get their books. But she could have been going through something. And maybe she just wasn't in that story. And now, because she had to force herself to write it, you may get a less than ideal book because she wasn't in that headspace, but she had to get it done. So
Which people already complained about book 2 feeling rushed and not well written. So you would think you'd want to give her the allotted time to give you a quality third book.
Oh,
but
yes. They did, Eloise.
they,
Oh, they
yep,
did.
they did. They did too. They rushed. They were like, it was an uproar, and it happened very quickly. Happened very quickly. The
It did,
statement
because
that
I
she
totally
made.
missed it. I totally missed it because I was when I heard about it, I was like, "Oh, is," and I initially thought, "Oh, it's because she put it on pre-order." So now the publishers are like, "Well, you got it. It's on pre-order.
No, but
You
before
have
it
to."
was even
And
on pre-order.
that's when Dee told me, "Oh, no, no,
No, no,
no.
no, no. It happened
Oh,
very
no."
fast because I follow her on Facebook, and I was literally on the publisher website when she made the announcement. So it was like 8 a.m. in the morning. She made her announcement. Just these are not the exact time. I'm just giving you an example. 8 a.m. in the morning, the announcement was made. Right? There was on the website, there was no pre-order for book 3, but no mention, but her new book, I forgot the title at the moment. Give me 1 second, let me get my receipts. Hold on, hold on. Someone else speak. Let me get my receipts.
So it's sad because when you think about it, here's the thing: most readers who are not writers have no concept or understanding of how the process works, of how just as a writer, period, add in the industry and publishing and all that. And so sadly, I'm sure people thought she is only a romance like fantasy writer. Probably like in their mind, they probably can't comprehend that she would write any other genre, which some have all been outraged about. Like, no, like you don't write, like, no, we don't want contemporary romance. Ew. Like, we want fantasy. That's what you write. Um, so it's sad because, yeah, marketing wise, when the industry and the fandoms pigeonhole you to one set genre, type, trope, whatever, and you get to the success that and exposure that she has gotten to, it's interesting to see the backlash that will instantly come against you when you go out of your lane in their mind. So it's very sad, very interesting to see how quickly they pounced on her and against her for it.
So to give you an example of how fast this all happened, this all took place on one day, on September 4th, right? September, but overnightish. So September the 3rd, September 4th. So the statement was made, and she didn't say she wasn't going to finish the Fort Wing series. She just literally said that she wanted to take a break and get back to her contemporary romances. She has a pre-order called In the Likely Event that she wanted to release, and that was the only release up on the website. The only one, because that's where she was focusing on variation and in the likely event, right? Those That's her contemporary. In the likely event is out now, and she was doing this the next one in that series, which is variation, right? And so she wanted to take some time, get that done. So she announced it that pre-order was live on the website, and I was literally watching the website after, like, overnight. I went to bed, wake back up, and there was this whole thing about how the publishing world is toxic, and it's sad that so many people believe that authors are machines, and that they can just come up with books at the drop of an axe. So people wanted, no, they did not want that. They wanted what they wanted. They wanted to continue reading their Fort Wing, their Iron Flame, and the third one, Onyx Storm. And in a matter of hours, like, I literally copied it because I was posting it. We have a group. I was posting it in the group for everyone to see. I was literally about to show them her website, that it's not there, not at all. No pre-order was there. And by the time I posted that, Onyx Storm was up for pre-order. And she and her husband apparently got themselves, like, I don't know how they did it, but they got themselves some superpower creativity energy and they wrote it. Because I believe a couple days ago is when I saw it. I don't know when she posted it, but that book is finishing off to the printers. And in my brain, I'm like, if a couple weeks ago, September 4th, you were saying you weren't in the headspace to write this, I don't know if she already had started. Maybe she already started and was stuck somehow. I don't know. But for the fact that by a couple days or weeks later, the book is done and out to the printers, I'm like, you complained about this, you get what you get. Because she told you she wasn't in the headspace. She didn't say it in those words, but she told you she needed to take a break and write the other book, and y'all came down on her
Like,
hard.
I
So
would
you get what
legit
you
be
get.
worried. Not gonna lie. Like, how many times have we wanted another season of something or another book of something, and we get it, and everybody dies at the end, and we're like,
Yeah.
like, well, you asked for it.
And the
And
book
it's
is
like,
gorgeous,
wow.
but I don't know how the inside is gonna be.
yeah, and
'cause-
Yeah.
Eva, the thing is think about her position with the publishing. Like, she won't have that option. Like, just because, if she felt like going, well, I don't care what people say, I'm going to do what
Yeah.
I want. She doesn't have that option.
so
She's under
publishing.
contract. She
Yeah.
probably felt pressure. They
Mhm.
probably definitely got, like, the big heads on her going, well, this is what we need. This is what the people want. So we're changing schedules and rearranging things. And maybe
Yep.
she's
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I think I agree with you, Des. I think it's something like that. Because remember, Tradpub, when y'all Tradpub, you get that wonderful advance, and that we have lives. That advance probably went to the mortgage or to something else already, and she doesn't follow through with what they want. She got to pay it all back. I'm not doing that either. I do what I got to do to get the book out, and the book is out, y'all. So I hope it's everything you wanted and more. Because y'all fought for this, literally.
I mean, she probably said, look, I want to write romance. I'm going to power through this for the next 2 weeks and get it out of the way. And I'm like, is that the book you want, guys? I mean, maybe it'll be great, but I don't know that I want the book that the author just said, I really want to be writing this other stuff. So let me just hurry up and get this done because I have to.
I mean,
I
if you buy
also
books
feel
just for the cover,
bad
it's
for
gorgeous.
for all the other authors who got an email that their publishing day got pushed back.
Right? For this to come out so early.
Because I like Trap Bob is slow because there's so many steps that are outside of their power. That's why it takes time for a traditional house, a publishing house, to get books out. But also, a lot of their calendar, like their 2025 calendar, for the most part, most of the houses, is already set. If they push her book in a year that it was not even in calendar, 100%, I am sure that anything between 5 to maybe 8 authors got an email that their books publishing day got pushed back.
Probably.
And then they have to let their readers know. But they cannot say why, because you don't talk bad about your sister or brother in your house.
Mm-mm-mm.
You can't.
You
Like
don't tell
that's
people the
not
dirty
that's not
laundry at
good.
home.
That's not good business. It's not even that. It's just not good business. Point.
I
So
mean,
I'm
to be
just like,
fair,
yeah, I understand, and that is not. It is terribly privilege of her fans to demand her to write a book when she's not ready, when the book needs to percolate. On top of that, after all the backlash that got Iron Flame because it was the inside the story was not well
It was
developed,
rushed. Yeah.
hmm
and you could tell that it was rushed. And I'm just like saying what they said. I have not
Hmm.
read those
yeah,
books,
I haven't
not
read Iron
interested
Flame.
in
Popular
reading them.
consensus
I
of
stopped in
reviewers
Fort
that
Wayne
So
to do
it's
booktube
just
and
what
everywhere. Yeah.
everyone has said. I'm just like letting you know.
Mhm.
And then having the audacity to ask for the next book faster than you got Iron Flame, knowing already, example, that a rush book is not a good book and you're just gonna complain?
well,
Like, what?
it's
Yeah.
not faster per se because both Iron Flame and Fort Wing was released in 2023. So technically, and
That's
this one isn't
fast for
coming. Yeah,
tripod.
that's fast
Yeah.
with Tribe
That,
Club.
that, that doesn't make sense
That
in
size,
the
yeah.
world.
This one
Yeah.
isn't coming until January 2025. But still, the point is
Still,
not because a book was released in 2023 means the author was sitting there writing it. The next one, especially since she has a book that was released after that and a book that's coming up too, the contemporary. So she was clearly working on the contemporaries.
Hmm.
So it's like, sure, it to the reader, it's been
two
what, two
years,
years,
a year.
but
I no,
A
not
year.
even 2 years. A year and a
It's
half
been
at
a
the
year.
maybe
most.
a
Yeah.
year, yeah, a year and something. But to the author, especially somebody that was doing other things and has a whole family, she probably just wrote that quick because for you to take a stand and say, okay, I know you've been waiting on this, but I'm honestly not. I have to focus on this other thing. There must have been thought put into it before. Therefore, I don't think she was anywhere good close to where she wanted to be to release it. But it is now.
It is
It is
now.
now.
Also, I don't know. There's so much romantasy out that you cannot tell me that you cannot find a book with at least one or two things that are the same as that
They
series.
wanted
Like,
this
you
one.
This
cannot.
one isn't being
In
published as
good,
a
like, you
romance.
can't. You
I
Oh,
know
can't.
you
of
know,
great indie authors who have dragon romantasy stories that are chef's kiss out there. So there is plenty for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
like,
this one is being published
it's.
as epic fantasy. So be warned. It's not being marketed as romance. It's being
wait,
marketed as
really?
epic fantasy.
Oh, that's
So be
interesting.
prepared.
That's interesting. Remember what I said earlier?
How
Very
the
interesting.
heck she wrote an epic fantasy that fast?
Wait, but they're like saying the whole series is considered epic fantasy?
No, just
Just the book.
Onyx Storm.
Can that does that
All right.
happen? Can you
It's
do that?
544 pages though,
You
so
can
I don't know how
separate
epic it
a
is.
genre series like that?
I don't know.
You
All
know
right.
what? They're
You
probably
can do anything
when
you
it
want when you're a
if
big seller.
well, not really because it's the bookstores that's gonna shelve it. So the at the end of the day, the publishing house can say all they want, but the bookstore, if they have the space on romantasy, they already build their bookshelf, and then they're not
Yeah.
gonna put two books here and then the next one next
They're gonna be
to
together.
Storm Lies Brother Sanderson. That ain't happening. That's gonna go
All right.
back to romantasy where
Hmm.
you gonna
All right.
stay.
So Eva's question kind
Yes.
of goes where Eva's question kind of goes where I was going to go next with asking you guys how you would feel. So
Yes.
since we went ahead and asked it, we'll go ahead. This is what you would you be stoked that your readers wanted your book fast or upset that you had to rush it? How would
Here's
you guys?
my thing is one thing is readers wanting your book. Another thing is readers turning on you
Mm-hmm.
because suddenly you express honestly that
Mm-hmm.
you want to pivot to a different book for whatever reason. My readers being disappointed is one thing, but readers, the community turning on you on TikTok and everywhere all of a sudden, that I wouldn't be thrilled about. That's not a good feeling
Yeah.
because it's like, how much are they real, genuine fans of you, or how much are you just a marketing toy
Yeah.
that they want when, like, you're not a human to them at this point, if that's the
Yeah.
response.
Especially if I don't know, for me, I would feel like, because this is not my situation, because I make my own content, but people are making content and getting paid and popularity and views and clicks and likes from making content off of her book. So that part of it would make me feel like, do they really care about what the quality of what I'm writing, or do they want me to just hurry up and put this out so that they can have this thing where they're like reviewing every chapter and they're making all of these like TikToks and reels and things, off of the thing that they want me to hurry up and produce. So I would have some mixed feelings if it came out of adoration, and like if it was just people saying, "Oh, we gotta wait. Oh no," because we do this when we find out that the series that we're watching is not gonna the next season is gonna be 2 years. We get anxious, but then we also get excited. But I don't think we don't, at least not on my side of things, we don't like get mad and riot and start demanding that all the actors get back now, drop whatever movie or whatever you're watching or whatever you're working on, and make this. We don't want to wait 2 years for Bridgerton or the Lord of the Rings or whatever the next thing is that we're watching. Then some of these series do take a long time to make, and we have to wait a year and a half to 2 years. We roll with it. We might get upset, but then we start, fangirling and doing our thing, and we wait, and then we're excited as the time comes for it to come out. So it's flattering that people would be excited and are gonna miss it, but it turns, like Des said, to something else when they
Yeah.
demand and start turning on you and insisting, and you feel like, "Oh, I don't have a choice here." That's where it gets a little like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's not fun. That's not cool."
Yeah. I mean, she did take it in strides. As I
Mhm.
said, I give her and her husband kudos because
Yeah.
they turned it into a whole thing. Like they went to Edinburgh and they tried to get. I more think she wasn't excited anymore, and she went back and did the book tours, and then she got excited because then she took pictures of the fans, and then that gave her a new win because now it's on the New York Times bestseller list again. The Fort Wing and the Iron, and like now it's there. And then she said, "Okay, well, it's back off to the printers. Now I can go prep for the release of Variation because that was already in swing." So it's like she took it in strides. She just took it on as an extra
Mhm.
task, I guess. But it's sad. It's really sad.
But
Yeah.
then, like what Eva is saying, and like it is interesting how the whole world works when it comes to like fans and content, whatever version that is, because there's this happening. Like it's crazy because a group of people, like, they'll hate you to love you at the same time because, like she said, the books are still up front on Barnes and Nobles, and even though Iron Flame got
Mhm.
obliterated by reviews because it was already just this fan favorite explosion, it's
Mhm.
still on top no matter what. It's like they'll take whatever they get at the same time just because it's the big popular thing right now.
Yep.
So even if they'll get like trash, like book three, they'll trash the crap out of it, but they'll still hold it up to a standard and place that it's still popular, it's still the thing, it's still like marketing of any bookstore, whatever is going to put it up top. So it's weird. It's a very weird dynamic. The
Yeah.
industry and fans and readership and all that. It's very bizarre how that works when you have gone viral, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very House of the Dragon and Bridgerton. Like, there can be some seasons or partial seasons that were like, "What happened?" But we're still in, like, "Give us more." You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Everybody's ready for the next. Like, so yeah, fandom is a funny thing. Meanwhile, other things get canceled when they barely get a chance to thrive. So
Yeah.
fandom is a very strange thing.
I think most people know me decent enough to know how probably I will react to this. Most likely I will be like, I don't care. it's my
It's not
it's my
happening.
career, it's my plan, it's my books. You know what y'all can do? Read some fan fiction. Write your own fan
Not
fiction.
fan
I'm
fiction.
sure you have a lot of things that you would like to fix that I wrote that you were like, why, Esther, you wrote it this way? Fix that.
Esther's not the
I
one.
know.
Publishing houses, Esther's not the one. Fan,
Like, hey, this
she
is the
won't,
other books on
she
my
won't
publishing
play.
house that you can read that are similar enough. Give them money. But I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna do what I am gonna do, and you're gonna do what you're gonna do. My problem will be when fans get like so delusional that they start sharing your personal information,
Mm,
they start blurring those lines, and then your safety and your family's safety it's threatened.
mm.
That's when I will be like, y'all, you're not gonna get any book. Like, if you're gonna be that demented, then there's not gonna be any book. I will rather give my publisher the money back than feed you all feral people.
That's the thing. It is the price of any art and person who creates the art becoming popular, becoming famous, becoming influential in any way. It's a little sad that it's like one has to come with the other, and it's a matter of like we would love for our books to reach status and then get picked up for film rights and this and that, but there will be a price to that fame and recognition. And so it's a little interesting when we really think about what we have possibly signed up for if
Yeah.
something were to strike gold later on in the future.
I mean, this is why I just keep kind of like my stand very specific. Like, I'm like, you can all come along. You start acting funny, you're gonna get the boot. Like, at the end of the day, at least for me, whether I like it or not, I can write under a pen name and no one will be wiser. And I can still do that. And at the end of the day, I could just get a 9 to 5 and keep on writing fanfic and I will be dandy.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
it's
true.
like
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of the times fans think that they can make or break someone, and you could help elevate that creator. But you really cannot break a human being. Like, it's just like there's some things that you just don't have access to that person, to their
Mm.
creation. And for a lot of time they probably created without anyone watching. And if they need to create, they can go back and create without anyone watching, and they will still find fulfillment.
That's the arg that was one of the arguments because there were a lot of people that took the position to say, she'd be nothing without her fans, so she has to do this. But I'm like, she's been publishing for years. Fort Wing is just the book that took off, but she's been
Mhm.
publishing
Mhm.
for
Yeah.
years. It's
Most
like
people
just
don't
go
know
back to
that.
publishing if it didn't exist.
Everyone assumes the book that an author goes viral with is the first book they have ever attempted to write in their lives.
Right?
It's like, no,
Nope.
that's not. Harry Potter didn't happen because that was
Not
the first book.
right.
So Maya, she has like speed the process to get it as soon as possible. So the pressure and I'm not saying everyone, but everyone with a very loud voice, pretty much bullying her to write the book. Won.
Yeah.
Right. So
Like within the same
in
week,
January.
like it was done.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
variation arcs are out now. I don't know when variation is actually releasing.
Yeah.
But now she's
Yeah.
doing 2 book releases instead of 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
And
is
again,
wild.
I just think about all the authors that got that email that your book got pushed. That's what I think. Like it's rough that that happened to her, but also the fans' action have consequences for other people who are not in the situation or the drama or whatever.
Right?
Her and the publishing house deciding to follow really loud voices again have consequences for a bunch of people who are nowhere
Right?
near.
That poor little debut author that was excited about their book being released and told their
Yeah.
fans, "Oh, it's coming." Now it's gonna have to probably go back to another year or another 6 months because
Yeah.
the big
And
dog had to publish a book.
that part. But as far as Rebecca is concerned, my thoughts on it, on her, I hope she's okay.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's what's important. As long as she's okay and she's okay with her fans, and that she's found a way to get through it. It seems like she has.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. But not a good thing if fans now feel like that they can just do this to anybody.
Yeah,
But
the
is it
power
a good
to-
thing? But she and is it a
No,
good thing?
it's a good thing that if she's okay. I just
Okay.
mean
I
as
don't,
long as
I don't think she
like
had
if
the
she's like
majority decision in
yeah,
this.
if she's in a bad place now
But
because she had to do that,
still.
that would be yuck.
No,
But
she
it
she
seems like she's
enabled
okay now.
them for her, and she well. Let me be more specific. Not she. Her
Her publisher,
publishing house
Yes.
opened the window for the fans to continue their demands. Also, they opened the window for other authors and other publishing houses to deal with this kind of very privileged
Bully tactic.
And the next
behavior.
person might not be okay. You know,
Yeah.
the next person might really be going through some things where they're like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
That's why I'm glad she seems to be okay. I hope she is okay with where things are at, because you know you do want the author to be okay. But the next person, how is the next person, the next author gonna handle this? Will they be okay? So I hope that this is a lesson learned. I don't know that it is, because they might feel like, see, Rebecca could do it. They can all do it. And then they're gonna write it. They're gonna write it to a sister, and they're gonna learn.
Y'all just smile and read whatever you got because you fought for this. You fought for this.
Yeah. Like if I ever get in my algorithm a review of that book and they're trashing it and complaining about it, depending on which account I am on, because I gotta be careful. But I will probably, depending on the account, I'll probably be like,
I don't want to
didn't
get
you
always
all pressure her to expedite this? Like, you get what you ask for. If you want something of like quality, chef kiss quality, patient is a thing. Find it. We'll say it. I don't know, meditate. I don't know.
That hurt.
Just because you can write an email in 5 minutes doesn't mean that a book can be written in a day. You know?
Every book is different. Just because you wrote the first one in a short period doesn't mean that the second one would.
Any continuation of a series is hard.
Exactly.
Like I said, and there have been plenty of things where I was like, oh, I can't wait for the final one, and everybody dies. So if that's what happens at the end of this book, well,
Maybe that's what happened with Veronica.
maybe that's why she's cool now. She's like, I'm good. There will never be another. I don't know.
Just kill them all off. All the characters done. Moving on.
Like, wow, this only
I
took
can
2
write
weeks.
something new now.
I mean, this reminds me of this is the fan fiction side, because readers of fan fiction can get this way. I've seen it. And when I used to write a lot of fan fiction, I got some comments that were like demanding, and my response will be like, "Thank you for your comment. The next chapter will come, and it will come. Subscribe to get a notification." But I remember someone who, oh my god, they wrote a legit like over 100 chapters of this story, and they got fed up of the comments of demanding the next chapter, and why this chapter wasn't long enough, why this chapter was long, and why this was short. The last chapter, they were like, so we're not gonna write this anymore. This is the rest of the outline, so you'll know the ending. Peace out. That was it. And they never publish anything online under that name again. And I was like, you do you. I don't like that this happened, but you tell the bullies. You tell the bullies. So, I mean, if the books end up being like summaries of each chapter, that's what you demanded.
That's hey, you wanted it, you got it. They said they were. You get what you asked for. Maybe not what you thought you were gonna get, but there you go. Oh, so that was cool. Respect. Oh, all right. Those are the 2 topics that we're going to cover today. We are going to do a bookish Am I the A-hole? So we have some options. I'm going to give you guys 3 to pick from. The first one is, am I the a-hole for threatening to take my sister's book from her if she keeps telling our parents what it's about? The next one is, am I the a-hole for giving a book a 1-star rating? I have not read these, guys. And the last one is, am I the a-hole? Husband ruins a book buying.
Book bind or like bind?
Book buying, like book buying.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I didn't read them. I picked these ones because I hadn't read them yet, so I don't know if they're good. I hope they are.
Chat, you got any preferences?
The one that I'm the most intrigued is the first one. Like,
The first one, but I think that's a
because I'm like, is she talking about the book that she's reading, or is she talking about a book that she's writing?
Yeah, I am wondering about that too.
That's why I'm like,
because I'm like, is this just like a petty big brother taking your book away?
Yeah.
Or is it like
yeah. Also,
well,
some of the people in chat, the last one, I'm like, how do you ruin a book buying? Like, huh?
I think so far
put a budget on the household. Like, what happened? Is what she's spending too much on books?
With Esther, that's 3 votes for 1, the first one. So
3 votes for the first one. All right, let me pull it up, guys. Give me a second, because I learned if I pull them all up, it won't show. So I have to do it actually once I pick one.
Yeah, for the third one,
did they cancel their card while they were at the bookstore?
Did they? All right, we might have to do 2. We might have to do 2. Now, I haven't read it, so I can't even tell you. I don't know.
They paid the mortgage, and instead of the mortgage, she went to Barnes and Noble and bought a bunch of books. And the husband said, "Well,
yeah."
All right, so let me grab it. Let me tell you.
Some of these people I find hilarious because they're like ready to be vindicated by the internet, and then you
Yeah,
read them
and
and
then
you're
you're
like,
like,
I'm
no.
sorry.
What were you thinking?
Yeah,
Okay,
they
so
throw them over their shoulder and get them out of the bookstore. Like, how did you stop a book buying?
all
It's
right.
like,
So we'll go ahead. We'll do both of those then. But we're
Okay.
gonna start with am I the a-hole for threatening to take away my sister's book to take away my sister's book from her if she keeps telling our parents what it's about? All right.
Neither are they spicy
I,
books.
this time I'm trying to hide so you can't see the answer from the audience. Okay. So here we go. I'm a strong reader. I read a lot of books, typically the ones off Book Talk or
No.
well known romance authors. I read a lot of romance, murder, mystery, and fantasy books. My sister could not be more opposite me. Recently, she finished a book I recommended to her and she loved it. I pretty much turned her into me. I bought a few books with me while on holiday so I wouldn't run out of choices while on vacation. My sister started to get into reading, so I gave her a book, which is a romance novel. It was King of Wrath, and she started to read and obviously started to enjoy it. I'm also reading a romance novel, which is more dark romance genre. Um, um, it's The Haunting Adeline. I will admit I was hesitant to let my sister borrow my book because I knew she would make remarks or comments
Ooh.
about the romance part in front of my parents who are oblivious to the types of books I read. They know it's romance, and I often tell them the plot of the book. I really enjoy leaving out the romance bits. My sister, I tell them the plots of the books. I really enjoy leaving out the romance. Just her grammar and commas, you guys can see, is non-existent or very odd. Uh,
Mhm.
my sister insisted she would not do it and treat it as if it was a normal book. So I let her read it. She did the complete opposite. I read parts of the book out and read parts of the book out
No.
which are obviously not appropriate. She would show her boyfriend, and then her boyfriend make comments, and then she would suggest mom should read my current book, and my mom became curious and tried to snatch the book from me. I told her I paid for it and she can't just snatch a book out of my hands. I was so annoyed and angry with my sister. She knows exactly what she's doing. Despite me asking her not to so many times, she does it anyway. So I told her, if you keep being immature, I'm going and doing what you're doing, I'll take away the book and give you something completely different to read instead. I told you countless times not to be immature about it. You're 19. For God's sakes, grow up. If you do it again, you can buy your own books instead of borrowing mine. This annoyed her, but she knew I was right, and she kept telling me mom and dad wouldn't do anything. And I told her that's not the point, and I meant that she said what I said, so she agreed not to do it again and has stopped. But occasionally she will announce that she's reading a sex scene out loud for everyone to hear, including my mom and dad, and she finds it hilarious. And it's not as annoying as it used to be, but each time I bring it up, she gets annoyed and yells at me. Am I the a-hole? Edit. I really downplayed this, so let me be clear a few things. The reason I threatened to take away the book was because she read sex scenes in public at dinner when I have guests or family over, and when she constantly nudges my parents to ask me what I'm reading, I feel ashamed and embarrassed. And when I don't say anything, she says it's probably a sex scene. After she does this, rewind goes silent and awkward while she is laughing, and it feels like it's on purpose so she can get me in trouble. So, what do you guys think? Is she being the a-hole?
I I'm on the fence about this. Right now, I've read Adeline. That's a very dark book, and
Mhm.
I'm old. Okay, I'm old. So for a 19-year-old, I can
Well,
see that
is
she
the
may.
sister 19-year-old? Is
Yeah,
she
the
older?
sister. Yeah, so the
The one
sister being
writing
19
this is
year old,
older.
the sister is who I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
She may just be like everyone is at different maturity at different ages. She may
Mhm.
just find them funny because she's 19.
She's
So
19.
she's to me she's been an annoying sister.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think the poster is an a-hole for choosing not to give her books or not to whatever because it's your book, it's your prerogative. But I mean, she's 19. She's Haunting on the Line is a heavy read,
Hmm.
right? A heavy read. And if she's probably reading it, she's not mature enough to like not
to
like she probably find
get
this
it.
the sexy words funny. So she's
Yeah.
like, you do still have people. I know people in my life. If you say moist, they laugh. So it's like there's certain words that make people. She's probably just that type of person that she's doing. She found out that it gets under your skin, so she's doing it to be annoying. She's a little sister.
Hmm.
So I'm on the fence ish. I don't
Yeah.
think she's in
I
a AO for not giving her the books. But I mean, she's your sister. She's doing sisterly behavior.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think the poster is an a-hole. I do think the little sister is a shithead. Because, okay, she is behaving like a little sister, but her is like she specifically is nudging the parents to check out what her older sister is reading, knowing that her sister feels some kind of way about what her parents will look at her if they know what she enjoys reading. That's pure shithead
Yeah.
behavior. I
Yeah.
apologize. Like it's just it is. Like you can talk about the book that you're reading however you want to. You can giggle about sex scenes. You can do that. But there's something that she wants. There's some buttons that she wants to press because she's pulling the parents to check what the older sister is reading. Like this is like, I am gonna get you in trouble. I am gonna get you in trouble. And
Hmm.
I'm like, as a
Yeah, but
little sister, knowing
Yeah.
how to push my brother's button and knowing how I could get him in trouble, like it is like
yeah,
you want them to like it's purposeful. Like they have a motive why they're
Yeah.
doing that,
but that's
and
still
it's
little
just like
sister behavior.
Yeah.
not
This
every
one.
little not every little sibling
No, not
behaves that
everyone.
way.
No,
Like
no,
Yeah.
no,
no.
like if you already had a talk and you express that you're uncomfortable, the the nice thing, I'm not gonna even say the mature thing, the nice thing as a family member is to be like, hey, they're uncomfortable, I don't want my family member to be uncomfortable, let me just stop doing this. But no, they're just like prolonging it, and it's like, nah. Again, as a
Very
little
funny.
sister, they're out to get them. That
The
has a purpose.
the overall vote was that she was being the a-hole for taking the book away. Most people thought it's sister behavior, calm down. The parents didn't seem to be bothered. So they just thought it felt like more like sibling
Right.
silliness and that taking the book away
And it's her book.
was
She's
too
free to
much.
take it away if she wanna.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not an
Like,
AO for that,
I
but I
mean,
don't
I like
think
what Jessica said is like basically if you're going to behave that way, then I'm not going to give you another book.
Yeah, I
Because
wouldn't give
your
her
I
behavior
another
mean,
can't
book.
be
if you're
trusted.
behaving a child like a child, you're gonna
Where's
reap
the
the
one above? Yeah.
consequences as a child. So if you're playing with a toy in the worst way, like you're gonna cause trouble to other people. What we're gonna do? We're gonna take the toy away from you, and that's what the biggest big sister is doing.
yeah,
If you're gonna
exactly.
keep behaving this way, I'm gonna
Mhm.
take the book, which is my property, away. You want to keep reading? Go ahead. Go
Yep.
to the bookstore and buy it. No
Get
one
your
is
own
gonna
book.
Right?
stop.
And you
You
got
don't
it.
have a spouse stopping a book buying.
Okay, okay. I don't know what the story's
People are
about.
outraged.
We're gonna
We
find
don't know
out.
the story, and everyone's
I don't know how I connected that, but I did.
You did. Nicely done.
This is gearing up to be another everyone's
Oh,
bay
that's
moment. You watch.
All right, I have to remove this one because it's not going.
Oh my
All
god.
right,
Again, it's just
let's
like,
find out what is the husband
as
even
as
doing.
a
How did
younger
the husband?
as a younger sister, I mean, you know the amount of things that I did to get my brother in trouble, like.
I'm the older sister, and I know they need to get
And
me
the
in
thing is,
trouble,
like,
but
I took advantage that I am a woman, and that he cannot, like, it's a big no to even, like, do this. Like, don't even think about it. I push and
Meanwhile, my
push.
brother was using me as a wrestling doll. So I
Yeah,
was getting flipped. I had nosebleed. It was so
yeah. I'm the oldest of four, so that whole story was triggering. I'm like, yes, little siblings, just doing right in front of my mother. Thank you, siblings. Of course
This is why I'm like, the older sister's not the a-hole, and the little sister is.
I think a lot of younger siblings were voting in that one. They're all like, "That's normal. That's fine."
Yeah, nah.
I mean, it is normal. It isn't fun, but it is
Yeah,
normal.
the
Okay,
comments were pretty split. You
to
could
a
tell, but
point is normal. To a point is
Yeah.
normal, but there's just some behavior that you can tell that it's
Yeah.
just like
And Eva, to answer, because a
not
few of you have mentioned this, family dynamics are very different. Like for a Hispanic family, doesn't matter that you're 19, you're living at home, your parents, you can get in trouble. It doesn't matter. You're not, I've noticed growing up, a lot of like more like white families, by 18, you're out of the house, go be independent, live your life and figure it out. Hispanic culture, at least, I know you don't leave home at 18. You are not in a like you are not
Not an adult.
getting in trouble. You're like usually they want your ass at home until you get married,
Yeah.
and until then you are still under
If
their thumb.
In my
yeah,
household.
if they are open enough, they're gonna be like, you only leave our house after you're 25
yeah.
and you're financially like stable, like you have a good job, you've been in that job for like 3 to 5 years, you have a savings account, you have an emergency savings account. If you don't have all that, no, you leave the home, dress in white, and to the church.
Every,
And
every week.
it is the entire culture. It's our culture as it is.
Yeah.
Right or wrong, it is what it is.
It's a minority thing because the same thing happened in
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had because
Yeah.
I've experienced. Yep.
Yeah.
no matter how old you be,
You know
under
what?
my roof is my rules.
Sometimes you're not even under the roof anymore.
God, I had to had a talk with my mom at a certain point that I'm like, we have to negotiate this because we're not doing this.
Yeah.
Like,
At
we're
27
just
years
gonna-
old, I was fighting with my mother because she's like, "You can't go out at night." I was like, "Excuse me."
I'm like,
Wait a second. Wait a second.
I'm like,
I love
my
me.
plan.
I was
But I
like,
have my own car. I have my own money. I'm gonna go out.
at some point, I'm like, the only thing that I have left is pay half of the rent here, and I can do that if you want me to. So
Even then, even when you were paying some of the rents or some of the bills and stuff, you're still under their roof. I remember one time
Yeah.
in my 20s, I took myself. I went out. When I went out, I had my key, but by the time I got home, my key did not work. They put a different lock on the thing. I'm like, oh, you want to be out late at night? You go back where you're coming from.
You stay out.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's see how this
All
husband.
right. You ready to find out why the husband ruined book buying?
Are we?
All right, here we go. My husband and I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. Oh no, Loki is ruining.
He's already
my
outraged.
a-hole.
He's already outraged.
I know it's terrible, isn't it? This husband, right? Okay. My husband and I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old who both go to daycare up the street. The daycare hosts a book fair, and I told my husband when we picked them up today, I want to buy them each a book of their choice. He said, fine. The boys picked out their books, and while we were in the line to pay, our 3-year-old changed his mind and wanted a different book. He ran into a little friend from his class who was also getting his book, and I thought, this is great. He wants to get the same book. How cute. I said, that's okay. I'll buy the first choice for myself. And so we would have ended up buying 3 books. My husband told my 3-year-old he couldn't buy his second choice, then told me I couldn't buy it either. I knew this was going to be a meltdown, and I didn't want to argue in front of the cashier. Embarrassing as it was, I said, okay. And I paid. The cashier is looking at me like, what the F? As this guy's problem, my 3-year-old burst into tears, and the husband picked him up and carried him out. I was pissed. I wanted to have a good, happy experience buying books, and instead, the memory is traumatic for me, too. The husband apologized, but he does this all the time. Ooh, he's awful.
A-hole!
Bro,
I don't understand.
100,000%.
She is not the a-hole. Just want to, so she's not the a-hole.
No.
The husband did
the
ruin
husband.
it. Yes, the
Yeah.
husband is, you ma'am are not.
No, ma'am, you are not. It is
I
Throw
will
the
be
whole
like,
husband away.
you take your hiney out of this bookstore, book fair,
Right,
and
wait
I'm gonna buy
outside.
the kids
Get
however many
your
books
kids a
they
book.
want.
Get your
How
kid the book.
dare
If
he?
you're in a rush,
Girl,
go wait outside. You could have been in the car.
like, no, you're not the
what's on your
a-hole. The
phone?
husband is.
What?
Throw the whole husband
My
away.
other question is like, he took the 3-year-old crying to the other book to outside. She saw the book that he wanted because she said that it was cute that he wanted the same book.
Yeah.
I would have got my 1-year-old, got the book, do the line again, buy the book, go outside, and be like,
They agreed on 3 books. It sounds like the dad just didn't want the kid.
I think he was upset because he was changing his mind or something. But I'm still.
but
Right.
that's
So
the
if we
age
make
when
a bad
you let
decision, we can't change
them.
our mind. What
Yeah,
are we teaching?
like that's the age that you let them change their mind 1,000 and 100 times because it really doesn't matter at that age.
Yeah, and the book wasn't
Like,
bought yet.
Right.
And we said 3 books. And then you're not even gonna let the mom buy either one of the books? No. Let her buy the book.
Yeah.
Let your
Story sounds very incomplete. I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't get it. There's something
Yeah.
very wrong
Let
about this
you-
story. There must be a
Yeah.
part that's missing because it doesn't make
that
sense
is
to me.
not a red flag. That is a
That's a
bright
burgundy
red
Bruges,
billboard.
right?
DEFCON 1.
Like
no,
that
no.
is throw the entire man to the trash.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know what his problem was, but there was definitely something else going on. Because she seems surprised.
But then she said he does this all the time.
Yeah, but then he does
Yeah.
this all the time. So
I want to know what other situations he stopped
It
them
feels
from
incomplete.
getting what they want.
Like, is this a trend?
I feel like he might have some like control issues.
To say the least.
yeah.
And it's like, if we agree on this, you already took the book, and we are in the line. Like, he cannot deal with a variation of things. That's no. Again, why you're in that marriage? The kids are young enough. They're not gonna remember. Get
Yeah.
out.
It's making a poor lady a single mama.
Scary part, having children with these type of people.
But they will be able to have more than 3 books.
I mean, maybe she's not surprised. Maybe that's why she's like, okay, we're all gonna get a book, right? 3, 1, 2, 3. Maybe she knew we need to be specific because something might go. I don't know.
Next time, he should just stay in the parking.
Yeah,
But he
don't
won't because he's the type who has to voice
need to
his
control.
opinion
Yeah.
and has to
It's
control
Next time
the
we
control.
leave him
Yeah.
at home, you know, we talk about the books today. We don't tell him when the
Yeah.
books are going to be purchased. Then we just leave by ourselves with our children.
and it seems
Go
like
buy the
he's the
book.
man, so you don't use your wallet unless I give permission.
It's
Kind of
the he
vibe.
Every
wouldn't
every
let
family
me
is
buy the
different.
books
It could be
either.
every
Egg.
family is different. It could be one of those where he's the breadwinner and she gets the money when she needs to buy specific things. Because people are like that. I can't do that.
Egg. I
People are like that, you
can't.
know. Like you gotta ask for everything. You get a specific amount of money to do this and this. I would. I'm too much of mm. I got Caribbean blood. I cannot.
I can always
My
say.
mouth is not mine. But those
I
people exist.
also
I'm happily
I
single.
I I have a weird satisfaction on arguing. So I am
I
the
can tell.
worst person for you to try to control because that to me is just like, ooh, I can argue and I can prove that I can win. Yes, dopamine.
I can see so many points in which Esther loses it on this dude.
Yes.
I mean, I can find loopholes where there's none because this is something that I love
Oh my
to
God.
do. I'm like arguing. How long do you have? How much energy do you
She's
have?
like, this whole book fair is about to be very entertaining, sir.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I'll be like, kids, go and get more books. You and I, you and
But
I.
see,
And if
I
you
wouldn't
get
even
mad,
argue.
well, we're breaking the rules because you said we were all going to be able to get 3 books
Yeah.
No, you see,
of
I'm
our
petty.
choice.
I wouldn't argue.
Now you're
I'd be
saying we
like
can't,
Esther.
so let's
Actually,
do our own
Dolores,
rules. Don't get too smart.
banter is my love language. So yeah.
I wasn't even gonna argue with you. You take you go outside, wonderful. Then I'm gonna go on a shopping spree, and instead of 3 books, we gonna get 13. Because
Yeah.
you want to be petty, I can be petty too.
Like rules, what are
Oh
those?
man.
That is just
Agreement?
like
What?
Grab the books I want. Yeah, Alicia.
I'd be like, take them out of my hand.
Exactly. Mhm.
yeah.
No.
I will probably take the books and be like, he will pay. And if he doesn't pay, just add it to the monthly fee of the kids and he
Yep.
will pay it then.
Mhm.
Yep.
But he wasn't in there. He was outside. So I'm gonna buy books. I never told you I'm buying them with my money. We buying the books.
Yeah, like
The
yeah.
family is buying the books. I can get back my money.
Oh
God, I
man.
just
I'm just
Like,
picturing.
friends,
I'm picturing
this
so
is
many
why
different scenarios. In
yeah.
my head right
This is why I'm happily single.
Same. High five.
I'm married, but you know, my husband knows who he married.
Yeah.
He doesn't do.
I just can't imagine in what world he
These
would tell
people
me
need to remember, right?
I can't
Mm-mm.
buy the thing. I'd be like,
Happy
excuse
wife,
me.
happy life. You know, you want to be miserable. That's the easiest way.
It's like he wouldn't let me buy.
Like, he wouldn't let me.
well, then told me I couldn't buy it either.
I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Like, what?
You know
No.
what else I would have
I know
done?
my
I will
dad
be
got not
like,
his name, and
I
it
will
was not
go
you.
take a picture and send it to the grandparents. If the kids cannot buy it, if I cannot buy it, then the grandparents will buy it.
Go ahead and try to tell them no.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
the point that
And I will
I
if
couldn't tell.
his parents are like very loving grandparents to the kids, I will send them to them and be like, "Hey, your son didn't wanted to buy this for your grandson. Like, it will mean so much to your grandson for you to get the book for them." And that will get the husband in trouble and it will get the kid the book.
Yes.
And
And you
then
win.
I'd be like, and can you take the kids for like a day or overnight? Me and the hubby have some
Discussions.
quality time to
Yeah,
spend because I'm gonna pack his ass here.
yeah. Also, clear the sofa.
Just
You know.
preparation.
Oh, that was entertaining. All
Yes.
right, friends. That is all we have for tonight. We will be back, I think, sometime probably right after Thanksgiving, early December. We'll do our Friendsgiving episode. So stay tuned for that. We'll probably do some hot topics and maybe play some games. Who knows? There will probably be lots of things because it's the writing community. They never just let us have a fun night. So there will be subjects
Why
to
does
be
it
discussed.
feel like it
I'm
was just
sure.
last month that we were doing Friendsgiving and everyone had drinks? It feels like it was just the other day.
I
Don't
And
know.
make it
Goes
already
feel
the
like
next
no
one
other
is Friends. Esther
time.
is the only one who's just like, no,
Girl,
the
that's
year is going
so
fast.
far. I'm
What is
like, I'm like, I don't even
Like I
remember
can
what I
remember Esther
drank.
had wine. I think Des had some for it wasn't wine, but something I don't remember. But we
Poquito?
were all here. I think Barrett was here too. It felt like just last year. Well, it was last year, but it felt like last month. It
Gosh.
felt close.
Oh my
Oh my gosh.
goodness.
Time flies. Time
That
flies.
reminds me, I need a wine run.
Same.
I need a wine
Oh.
run.
And
Oh, Maggie, we're so sorry. Yes, we did talk
Yeah.
about the AI. Everything is labeled so you can go back and find it easy.
Mhm.
Um, guys, I'm gonna let my friends go ahead and give their outros, let you know where you will find them at next, and then we will say goodbye. Esther, you want to start? We'll go backwards this time. Loki wants to
Yeah.
hop up and say hi.
Thank
Oh,
you.
hi.
Hi,
oh,
Loki.
look at that precious poppers.
I am Esther, who's gladly competing with Loki's attention.
I know.
Hi, I'm Esther. Quick reminders, there's no more gentle productivity, so you're not gonna see me tomorrow at 3 p.m. Also, the Romance Writers Room is on hiatus, so you're not gonna see that either. You will see me again on my channel Monday at 7 p.m. for the second day of quarter 4 planning. You will see my face and you might see other faces. Who knows? I do not demand my friends to show up. So if you want to know, you gotta show up. I did put on the Discord and on the YouTube, no, on Instagram, my streaming schedule for this upcoming week. So check it out if you need some company to get some work done. Cause your girl is entering quarter 4 and oh God, I need a lot of wine and a lot of caffeine. So watch out this train wreck. D.
Hi, I'm Dee. I'm also Sky and Lily. I publish under pen names Sky Winter and Lily Love. Sky Winter's next book won't be out until November 1st. Lily is. Lily has stuff I can't announce here because I haven't told my Patreon yet. If y'all are not aware, I have a Patreon, patreon.com/skywinterbooks, where I have created a new clean, sweet pen name, Lily Love. I'm sharing the behind the scenes, so they see the analytics, they see the royalties, they see what I'm doing, they see the newsletters, the decisions I make. They're a part of it. We got as far as number 2 in the whole short reads category, for our freebie, and that was amazing. That was an awesome accomplishment. I haven't really been pushing for more. I've been pushing more for subscribers on our newsletter and getting the brand out there more than royalties per se. But in quarter 4, that's gonna change. So if you're starting your own pen name and you want to see how it's done from someone that's been publishing for a while and just doesn't do the things for herself, but I'm treating this as a client, so I'm doing it for that, then you can join me on Patreon and we will be having some fun videos coming up over there too. So that's me. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have videos now and again. I don't have a set time, I'll be there. Subscribe, it'll pop up on your thingamajigs. That's me.
And friends, I am Desiree Ortega. I co-write with TL Russ, Tiffany, under the pen name Desiree. We have about 17 books out on Amazon, little short romances. We are taking ourselves we're taking a break from publishing, but we're not taking a break. We are slowly but surely preparing for things to come 2025. So look forward to that. And if you sign up for our newsletter, we will keep you updated. We are sending newsletters out now once a month, whereas before we were sending them weekly. And everything else in my life is on pause because I have many things going on, and I am slowly finding my way back little by little. So you'll see me here and there, and we'll see what the future holds. So that's me. Yeah.
And I'm Nia, the Vixen of Fiction, all over the internet. You can follow me here on YouTube. You can also follow me over on Twitch. I write under NV James. So if you're interested in cozy romance, fantasy, and sci-fi, give me a follow. And that's all we've got, guys. I'm trying to distract my dog because I don't know if he needs to go out or what's going on. So we're going to say goodbye right there. Thank you all so much for coming to hang out with us. And speaking of Loki, we're going to say goodbye with a little Loki. Bye.